Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are back into the deserts of Kharak for some more multiplayer action. This time we're going to check out a game that has been sitting in my replay bin for a little while now, and I've been meaning to get to casting it for quite some time. I just have such an unbelievable number of replays to cast that it's taken me a little while to get to this one. But this should be a pretty darn good one. Two very solid players that I have had featured on my channel in the past, and I've been quite impressed with their play. So let's jump into this one. This is going to be a 1 versus 1 on Kalash Teeth. And we're going to have BBI's very own community manager, Ian, going up against Agent B8 Factor. So let's get our bearings on the map. Alright, I'm going to call this north. Anyway, so spawning on the north side of Kalash Teeth, the classic map, it is going to be BBI's very own Ian playing as the Coalition in his distinct purple and yellow color scheme. Ian is a damn good guy and has proven to be a very, very solid Deserts of Kharak player. Improved significantly since he first started playing. So I'm pretty excited to see what he brings to the table. And playing the Coalition as usual. His opponent spawning on the south side of Kalash Teeth, it is going to be Agent B8 Factor, a player who at this stage was relatively new onto the scene, but has proven himself to be a highly competent RTS player. I mean, he's even doing this extra little move where you put your carrier nose onto the resources, ass end to your expansion, and that's going to reduce travel time for your salvagers, so get that tiny little few seconds of increased mining time. So that's pretty cool to see. And he is of course going to be playing the Knef, my personal favorite faction. So a Knef versus Coalition, pretty damn awesome. What do we got for build orders? Pretty standard stuff here. B8 Factor saturated his main, and he has got a couple of salvagers onto his first wreck bulkhead. We do have a single LAV coming out from Ian. Going to put a little bit of harassment on. This is very, very early. And currently B8 Factor has nothing to answer this, so this is going to shut down mining on his first wreck bulkhead. Very nice move by Ian. Not really going to do anything other than that, but it's cool to see a little bit of harassment coming out. What have we got here? We've got a second LAV, and he's going to come scouting around the right side of the map, which is a very nice move, because we do have a forward base runner from B8 Factor, which is producing blast drones, and another cheeky move by Ian too. He is going to grab the artifact that spawned closest to B8 Factor's side of the map, so pretty damn cool. Ian with a very, very solid opener here. Pretty nice stuff. And definitely something you want to do on this map if you're playing against Knef. Get a couple of, typically anyway, you want to get a couple of early LAVs and scout them on opposite sides of the map for the very reason that you saw here. This map is notorious for blast drone rushes. We've got a second production cruiser on the field now for B8 Factor, so he opened double production cruiser, and that is going up against an early artifact grab and an early LAV here, AAV as well. So two LAVs into AAV. We do have an armor upgrade for this AAV, so a nice timing here. Do we have any more on the field? We don't. Interesting. Very interesting build, and not something that you'll typically see. Typically, if a player will invest in armor this early for their AAVs, they're going to pump out quite a few. But we do have the double production cruiser build is on the move, and Ian is going to spot it with his AAV. However, he is going to get right on top of these salvagers to try and do a little bit more economic damage. So nice scouting from Ian, nice economic harassment. This is actually going to force Agent B8 Factor to bring one of his two production cruisers back. I wonder if that was a misclick or that was intentional, and I think it was intentional because B8 Factor has gone directly for assault railguns, a solid build. That is going to shut this AAV down pretty damn hard, but not before it does a little bit of harassment here. Going to shut down B8 Factor's first wreck bulkhead again. And it's also going to allow Ian to have spotted the play, so he knows it's double production cruisers, he knows it's assault railguns, and he knows that he's delayed the attack. So look at that, what a single AAV can do. The AAV does go down, this base runner is going to go down as well. However, Ian has taken a pretty nice lead with 1-0 in terms of artifacts. He's also long hauling resources from his first wreck bulkhead. Does he have railguns? And the answer is yes. So perfectly played by Ian. He's spotted the play and he's responded exactly how you want to respond. Is he going to have enough to hold it though? What he wants to do is get his carrier out here to block this path and get his railguns behind it. He currently has 2 railguns on the field compared to 4, 5, 6. In moments we're going to have 6 assault railguns. They do have an armor upgrade, so that's pretty damn dangerous actually. Oh, look at that. He's actually going to force B8 Factor off with just these 2 railguns and a couple of screening AAVs. Very, very efficient play from Ian. He's been using his smaller number of units very well. So he's got currently 3 LAVs, 3 railguns, and I mean, that is a pretty small number of units, but just scouting correctly, responding correctly to what his opponent's doing, and using some pretty nice positioning. I don't think he wants to get on top of this ground here. Whoa, a turret went down in mid as well. That's going to go down. Another assault railgun goes down.
Alert, a turret post just went down.
These 3 LAVs are screwed.
Hostile light attack vehicle detected.
This is a pretty interesting little standoff here. Neither player can come across the little ravine here, and this is one of the dominant features of this map, as I detailed in my map analysis video. So at this point, I think, in my opinion, it would be a good idea for B8 Factor to get Production Cruiser Refinery mode and go directly up to 3 bases because he has Ian contained. That's how I would respond. He has a large number of units here, starting to transition into Sand Skimmers, which as well have an armor upgrade. So 1 armor upgrade for the Skimmers, 1 for the Assault Railguns. Looks like he is going to force himself in here. And I agree with this choice. With all these Skimmers and these Assault Railguns, he can overrun this position. That's exactly what he's doing. This is actually a pretty nice battle. Let's zoom right in for this. Nice micro from Ian, getting his railguns to the back, bringing his carrier out forward. But this is just such an overwhelming number of units. This is going to be pretty tough for him to deal with in the long term, unless he gets his carrier production upgrade and starts just pumping out a couple AAVs. There he goes. He's got that. Look at that. Perfect play. 2 AAVs right out on top of all these units, combined with the carrier fire. Now supplementing that with a couple of LAVs. He is going to clean this up.
Time to clear out. Be ready to engage.
Damn, what a fight. That was awesome. And wisely, B8 Factor is going to retreat.
Research completed.
But pretty heavy losses on both sides, I gotta say.
Be advised, carrier repair systems online.
Ian just slightly able to edge out the advantage. And that's what happens when you fight on your home turf with your carrier supporting. Oh wow, he's already researched Power Reserve 2, and with the 1 additional artifact that he's got that allowed him to pump 2 levels of power into carrier repairs and have 1 in weapons, 1 in range. So a pretty nice spread all around, and able to keep his economy relatively intact. I would like to see B8 Factor go up to 3 bases here. I can't tell what he has for tech, unfortunately, but pretty even. Let's check out the units lost tab. Oh my god, so close. B8 Factor with 18 losses, BBI, Ian with 16. Almost neck and neck in terms of resource investment lost. Slightly higher for B8 Factor in terms of CUs, and of course slightly higher for Ian in terms of RUs due to the higher tech level. We do have a blast drone coming in. At the same time, a small little harassment coming in from the right side. A couple of skimmers backed up by a assault railgun. On the back of all that fighting, B8 Factor was able to secure an artifact, and he's going to go for the drop. He's definitely going to get this. He's actually secured 2 artifacts, so he got double base runners on the back of that. I don't know if this base runner can make it in. I don't think it can. A nice blast drone hit, though. Takes out a couple of LAVs. he needs to keep this assault railgun off
Armored vehicle is taking fire.
of these AAVs. He doesn't want them getting too close because their suppressive fire will slow it down. So nice micro from B8 Factor there. Do we have double upgrades yet? We don't have double armor upgrades. No upgrades for the LAVs. Wise move by B8 Factor, retreating with this base runner. And another good move, just what I wanted him to do. He's gone up to 3 bases now, so he's starting to slowly eke out an economic advantage.
The captain.
However, not to be left too far behind, we do have a support cruiser on the field from Ian, a couple of railguns.
Move and engage
He
on
got
site.
3 railguns back at home. He's pushing forward, just trying to keep B8 Factor out of mid, which is working currently.
Base runner in service.
Using those dunes to evade the fire of the assault railgun very nicely, and this LAV is still alive.
Battery operational.
It's going on through mid. B8 Factor has now teched into missile ships, which is a wise choice, and has a third production cruiser. Nope, just 2. So he's, again, really nice move from B8 Factor, getting that production cruiser onto his main and onto his third, and keeping his carrier in the middle position. This is something I really like to do, that allows you to respond to threats on either side with your carrier if need be. And now transitioning into a nice macro heavy build, staying with assault railguns. However, he won't be able to push into mid, and he's going to have a hard time if Ian is able to secure this high ground position in the middle of the map.
Moving out. Engage targets on site.
Okay, good. He's got some heavy railguns out now.
On our way.
And I mean, at this point in the game, we're still pretty damn even. Ian is now starting to long haul from his third. However, he is falling behind little by little in terms of economy with B8 Factor. So I'd like to see him get another production cruiser on the field. I'd like to see him do a little bit of scouting. A nice sneaky base runner going around the backside. Might be able to drop off that second artifact, and a pretty sweet missile launch from the carrier there. Able to clean up that one AAV and force these units back.
Vehicle taking effective fire. Green line.
So far, Ian doing a pretty good job of containing B8 Factor. However, he is going to be starting to trail behind in terms of resources, and we're starting to see that manifest on the field now. With the double production cruisers constantly pumping out railguns, B8 Factor is just slowly creeping forward with more and more units as every minute passes. I think he's being a little bit too hesitant with this base runner. I'd like to see him drop this artifact off. He could have made it in. Currently it's tied at a 1-1.
Vehicle enhancements online.
There he goes, pumping out a couple blast drones too. This is a nice move.
Vehicle in service.
Push up to that point.
Might be able to get some sweet scores in.
What do you need?
Ian needs to get this salvager mining. There he goes.
Hostile light attack vehicle visually authenticated.
Looks like we have a push coming through mid. Just a few sand skimmers. We got upgrades on that. Still just the 1 armor. However, the 1 armor plus larger numbers here is going to take the fight in favor of B8 Factor here. He's going to be able to clean up these LAVs and probably just harass a little bit. But Ian moving up his AAVs, who now have double armor, so those sand skimmers are going to get pushed off pretty handily. A little bit of nice scouting going up on the left-hand side from Ian. He now has an armor upgrade for his LAVs. Just trying to poke. He has to know that B8 Factor's on 3 bases now, and if he didn't know it before, he knows it now. He's going to scout that out, and he's going to see the position of some of his troops. But pretty nice play from B8 Factor, not balling up his army too much. He's got a nice spread, covering pretty much the middle as well as his right side location. And B8 Factor is able to drop off the second artifact, has a third en route. However, that's not going to happen. We've got 8 LAVs and an AAV and 4 railguns now coming out. Both of these base runners are toast. Is B8 Factor going to capitalize on this and push out is the question. Third production cruiser hits the field. This base runner goes down. I would like to see him push and kill this base runner. There we go. Both base runners go down. Ian doesn't have to worry about artifacts for at least a couple of minutes. He finally has a second support cruiser on the field, so catching up now in terms of economy. B8 Factor knows the position of Ian's army though, so he's moving out to intercept. He's going to be able to force this off. We've got assault railguns. No, we've just got heavy railguns and a few screaming skimmers.
Light attack vehicle is under fire. Overdrive, push it.
We do have the speed upgrade now for the skimmers, as well as the boost upgrade for the LAV. So damn, this game is so close. Even in terms of upgrades, in terms of artifacts, in terms of army composition, and military unit count, we're pretty damn even. But with a third production cruiser on the field, B8 Factor is going to push out into the map. He does have those 2 artifacts as well as Power Reserve 2 upgraded, so 3 power in missiles, 1 in weapons, and 2 in mobility support. Just putting his carrier in a pretty threatening position here. He's going to get scouted.
Railgun operational.
Oof! Nice missile hits. Right into the middle of that blob.
Move order confirmed.
Armored assault online.
Ooh, a couple more big missile hits as well, and it looks like Ian just wants to throw these LAVs away. Oh man, those got wrecked. Trying to put a little bit of harassment on, or perhaps he was just trying to pull the 8 Factor out of position, which didn't really work. And he didn't capitalize on it if that's what he was trying to do. So just a little throwaway here for scouting and harassment. Not worth it. We do have a base runner coming out into mid. Ian doesn't want to fall too far behind in terms of artifacts. Let's watch this base runner go in. Backed up by a pretty sizable force. However, we do have sand skimmers coming around the dune. They're going to intercept this base runner. The base runner can tank this damage though for quite some time, and that's going to allow Ian's forces to get into position to support this. Moving up forward with his 4 AAVs. He doesn't want to move up with his railguns though. I think this is a mistake. They're not really going to do that much to those skimmers. Most of them go down though. Rest forced into retreat, and Ian is going to take this artifact back to the safety of his own territory. Fuck, I love this game. I really love this game. It's just so good. Such a good RTS. Oh, we got a backstab coming in from B8 Factor. What's the power looking like on Ian's carriers? He's got Power Reserve 3. If he changes his power loadout a little bit, he'll be able to clean this up without too much difficulty. Now he's got a bunch more LAVs on the field. That's going to push these these sand skimmers off. However, look at this. Is B8 Factor going to come for a snipe? I don't know. He's got all of his power in mobility support. Sand skimmers are getting pushed off. Nice move by Ian, putting a little bit more power into weapons at range. But now he's got to deal with this. Knaff carrier just sitting on the other side of this impassable terrain, and is just going to start raining missiles down on Ian. So he's got to push out. I would like to see him get artillery cruisers, and look at that. Artillery cruisers 40 seconds out. So if he can survive for just 40 seconds, I don't see any siege cruisers on the field yet for B8 Factor, which is unfortunate. B8 Factor has grabbed a 3rd artifact, and he's going to carry that back to his territory. Nice army here from Ian. Adding missile batteries just in case. He's got 1 of those, backed up by 3 LAVs, 4 AAVs, and 7 railguns. What do we got for armor upgrades? Just 2 armor upgrades for the AAVs, as well as 1 for the LAVs.
Artillery cruiser capabilities are online.
I don't know why B8 Factor moved his carrier all the way back. I think he was in a pretty nice position. He could have just put all of his power into missiles and just kept bombing Ian and kept him kind of contained and forced him to do something about it. As it stands, he's back in his own territory, and Ian is trying to box him in. Going to get a little bit of a flank out with these sand skimmers, but just not able to get them into position on time. What he wants to do is focus down each of these 2 railguns in the back here. Looks like that's what he's finally starting to do. There are no AAVs in position, so he should be able to clean these up. But it looks like he's switching targets. No, there he goes. Back on the right target. He's able to clean up 1, but with the AAVs moving out to the forward of the phalanx position, he's going to force those back and going to try and just force his way into B8 Factor's territory here. He's going to get forced back by a couple of nice barrages, and a flank is going to come out from these 4 assault railguns. Clean up one of these AAVs. Second one's probably going to go down. No. A little bit hesitant. He should have cleaned up the second one. He probably could have got both of those, actually, in my opinion, by using, not going back here, but using this dune right here to block these railguns. Ooh, just miss. Holy, that could have been really nice. Just missed with the missiles. Able to land one. And a siege cruiser is finally on the field, and that is going to put some pain onto these units and force them into a full retreat. Oh, huge missile hits. Look at that. That is the power of the Knef, man. Late game Knef on this map is a nightmare. I gotta say it, it's a nightmare. If you let your opponent get a bunch of siege cruisers and 5 power and missiles now, Ian is going to have a pretty tough time cracking this. The 8 Factor can capitalize on the fact that he has Ian boxed in. I would like to see him deliver this artifact, put more pressure on Ian. Look at these missiles. Oh, just miss. Nice dodge by Ian there. He has a pretty respectable number of LAVs on the field now, still with 1 upgrade.
Research completed.
Still doesn't have armor level 3, but he does have a artillery cruiser on the field. What's in production? B8 Factor has another siege cruiser in production. Holy crap, Ian's main is mined out. He's going to try and sneak an artifact in. I would be shocked if that is able to make it. And oh lordy, here we go. He's got power level 5, so both carriers have power level 5. And we're going to start trading blows with artillery here and some serious missile strikes. I would like to see a cruise missile come out now that we've got power level 5 for Ian's carrier. Ooh, that base runner is going to get... Is it going to make it? No, surely not. No, there it goes.
Friendly vehicle has lost possession of an artifact.
I gotta keep my eyes peeled for a cruise missile here. I can just feel it. I can feel it coming. Finally, heavy vehicles, armor level 3 coming out for Ian. Nice backstab, but ooh, 2 assault ships there, backed up by a ton of railguns. B8 Factor's main is mined out now. Both players' mains are mined out. Looks like we've got a little bit of a skimmer war going on here. Those are going to get decimated. These LAVs are going to get decimated. I've got to keep track of what's going on here. Let me look at the sensors manager. So Ian's got a giant blob here, just holding back behind his carrier. 2 artillery cruisers now and a full-powered carrier. Somehow these LAVs are still bloody well alive, and we got a cruise missile right on top of all of these units. Oof. Pretty nice hit. Cleans out all the salvagers, puts some heavy damage onto B8's carrier, as well as both of these siege cruisers. He needs to capitalize on this by getting artillery bombardments right in here. But his artillery cruisers are too far back, and now both of these siege cruisers are going to pour some serious firepower right on top of Ian. He can tank this pretty much all day with his carrier, though. Really wouldn't be too worried about it. What I would be worried about is all the missiles from this carrier. Oh, 4 direct hits. Look at the health go down. 3 siege cruisers, man, and 5 power and missiles on this carrier. Ian is going to have a really hard time. In my opinion, what he should do is try and get his railguns right over here, and then push out into mid, tank with his carrier, and just have that the threat of his carrier and cruise missiles right here, and bring his artillery cruisers up behind it and start bombarding over top of this ground here. The 8 Factor with some nice play, though. He brought his railguns out, screened by these skimmers, and was able to deliver a 3rd artifact, so a 3-1 lead here. And these heavy railguns are going to get a direct line of sight right onto this artillery cruiser and onto B8's carrier, or Ian's carrier, and look at the damage those are going to put out. Holy shit. Oh my god, Ian is in a bit of trouble here. His carrier is in a lot of trouble. Where is his army? His army needs to get the hell out here and support this carrier. But he has pumped all 5 units of power into armor, so he can tank a lot of damage this way, as well as self-repair his hull. Oh my, look at what I missed. A huge backstab coming out from Ian. Gonna actually clean up the entirety of B8 Factor's third. Gonna clean up a couple of assault railguns on top of that. Do we have more armor upgrades? No, we don't. But we do have some damage upgrades now for these LAVs, and they're behind B8 Factor's lines. And the problem B8 Factor is having is he doesn't have any more resources. Ugh. Disgusting damage from those missiles. These LAVs are screwed. They're about to be shit on by all of these siege cruisers. Look at that shit. Oh man. Those are all going to get cleaned up, but the damage has been done. Oh, another cruise missile, but it's going to be dodged. Oh, total dodge. Very nicely done by B8 Factor. And look at this, he's got 5 siege cruisers here. So he has enough firepower to close the deal, but can he do it? He's slowly getting picked apart. Ian is going to get a pretty nice flank out with all of these units. And he's just going to brute force his way. Oh my god, holy fuck. Oh, the barrages. That was savage. Oh, that was savage, those barrages, man. Oh my god, both of our players are bleeding out. Look at these siege cruisers just going to pour these barrages right on top of all of these units. Oh man, and they are already severely damaged from those missile ship barrages. Probably gonna... What the fuck? The camera just bugged right out. Sorry about that. Nice artillery barrages. Look at that. Cleans up Ian's entire army. Still hanging on to an artifact though, and Ian grabbing a second artifact, going for a third. The problem is there's 3 minutes left in this game. So if somehow B8 Factor can survive, there's no way these artifacts are going to get dropped off. There simply isn't. The onus now is on Ian to close the game out. He needs to kill B8 Factor because B8 Factor is just going to camp here with 5 siege cruisers and a fully powered Kneff carrier. These base runners are done for. There's no way they can get any more artifacts into the extraction zone. So at this point in the game, it's going to be B8 Factor trying to run the clock and Ian trying to kill him. And he's got 4 artillery cruisers. With a cruise missile and 4 artillery cruisers, he can close the deal right here, right now. And he does have the cruise missile. Oh man, this game is going to be close. This was one of the best 1v1s I've seen in a very long time, actually. Nice, spending his missiles on that base runner. Ian is going to charge with his carrier. He needs to close the deal, though. He can't engage this like this. Oh man, Ian's carrier might go down here, actually. He's just going to suicide it for a point-blank cruise missile. Oh, huge direct hit from the cruise missile, raining down artillery fire. This is exactly what he wants to do. He needs to get the artillery fire onto this carrier and onto these siege cruisers. Oh, the problem is, man, it's so hard to engage a Kneff carrier with your carrier like this. And it looks like he is about to go down. 75% left on his carrier. The clock is definitely going to run out. I'm going to call it. I think B8 Factor is going to take this game. Oh my god, it is going to be so close. What a battle. Artillery trading blows from the middle of the map. I seriously have no idea who's going to win, so we are just going to watch it in cinematic glory. Whoever wins, wins. What a game. What an absolute beast of a game this was. This was just so damn good. Can Ian do it? I don't think he can, but he's going to damn well try. And it is going to be so close. 30 seconds on the clock. Ian has to kill B8 Factor within 30 seconds, or he's going to lose the game.
Artillery cruiser in contact. Provide fire.
Huge artilleries, though. Huge artillery landing.
Armor systems in
If he gets this out in the last second with like a surprise cruise missile or something, I am just going to scream.
Alert. Railgun down.
Weapon range systems currently active. Our time window has closed.
Oh my god, so
Failed. All
B8
ships
Factor
fall
was
back.
able to run the clock and just took a win. What a desperate game. That was an amazing game. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Leave a like. If you did, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you for the next game.